It's time to dive beneath the surface and into the minds and hearts of your favorite celebrities and pop culture icons. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hey guys, what's up? You're watching Up and Adam. My name's Adam Knoll. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm the guy bringing you guys all the weekly interviews and recaps from your favorite celebrities and pop culture influencers. But for those of you who do know me, you know that that's not why we're always here, right? Guys, if you haven't already, make sure you go ahead, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. That way you guys don't miss anything we have coming up, and make sure to subscribe. We really appreciate it. Guys, I love you so much. Thank you for watching, and let's jump right in with our special guest, Charley Walters. Hi, Charley. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Listen, I had such a great time talking with you the first time that I was so excited that you agreed to do this with me again.
Of course, anytime. I'm so proud of you and all the interviews you've been doing. I've become a total fan, so I'm excited.
Hey, I'll keep you around. Honestly, you swayed me on the first time that we talked after watching you kind of clear your infamous little TV villain name. I was like, this guy's awesome. So anytime that I get to steal a moment with you, I just really appreciate it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it too, and loved all the different, almost all positive comments on that. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we got a lot of great views on that. And people were just like, wow, this guy's amazing. And I love Charley. And I was like, oh, thank gosh, because that's exactly what we were setting out to do. So I'm happy that it read through.
Thank you. Proof you don't always see everything on TV.
Well, one, I want to say I love your light fixture. And two, I see that you have that awesome Christmas tree behind you.
Yes, Carlos just put it up yesterday, so I had to show it off a little bit. And that light fixture ended up being in the perfect position. Like, we got a tree that's like exactly the right height that's like the tree topper. So
that did work out perfect. Are you having an okay holiday season so far, with all things considering? Because I know obviously
like we're back in full lockdown mode, stay at home order here in LA. So we are, trying to abide by that as much as possible. Fortunately, we have a new place that I really like, and it's comfortable here. And, we've just been chilling with our roommates, but it's rough out there. The pandemic is raging. It's really sad. So how are things going over there?
So we're not in full lockdown, but everyone's still taking it very seriously. As soon as you step out, you have your mask, everyone's taking precaution. But honestly, if I'm not on YouTube, I am trying as much as possible to sit on a beach with no one around me and just try to enjoy that. Cause
that seems to be the safest place to be. Yeah.
Yeah. You lose your sanity being stuck in this much.
I know. It's such a delicate balance. I get why we have to do it. All the hospitals here are full. So it's like, whatever we need to do, we'll do it. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, since you do have the Christmas tree behind you, it is the time of giving. I wanted to bring you back on because I've been following you and seeing some of the amazing things that you've been doing, of course, off camera, because it wouldn't be interesting to watch how awesome you are on camera, right? So all of these great things that you're doing and you're giving back. I want to say, after we talked, one of the things that you did that kind of really touched me and got me choked up a little bit, I saw a woman reached out to you, and I'm sure you had a lot of people reach out to you for different help in different situations, but one in particular, she wanted to help her son have a great holiday, and you contributed to that.
Oh, Tiffany. Yeah. Yes. Her name was Tiffany, and I had made a comment. I think this was in response to a comment, and this is when everyone was like trolling me on Twitter or following my every move. And I said, hey guys, now that I know the whole context, I wish I could have given the crew an even bigger tip. And someone chimed in and she said, well, you know what? If you happen to have anything extra, I could really use some help these holidays. And it really hit me because I suddenly realized, I was like, okay, pull back from this whole Bravo insanity. Like, how lucky are we that we got to go on not one of these yachts, but 3 of these yachts, much less in the year of 2020. Like, not many people can say they got to do that. And I just started really thinking about what a fortunate experience that was. And, despite everything that goes down with it, why not, pay it forward a little bit? And the fact that we had people asking like for help, and Tiffany sent me a picture of her and her son, and she said he really wanted this like super cool Mario Kart game, but she just couldn't quite stretch the budget. So we ordered it for her, and I hope he doesn't see this because he doesn't know yet, but she said she'd take a picture on Christmas and send it to us. So that's super cool. And I just want to put that out there again. If anybody, needs a little extra helping hand, for the holidays, please let Carlos and I know. It's something that's really important to us. And I think that, we've been awakened by just through this whole show experience. So happy to help. Just send us your wishes.
Oh, you guys are like two Santa Clauses.
I look a little bit more like a Santa than he does, but yes.
Oh, no. Well, I did also want to say, I'm sure all of these people, especially since our interview, have been boasting about, your personality and how it was so different than it came through on the show. And one person in particular who I recently spoke with, Elizabeth Franchini, who was the second student. You know Elizabeth.
I love Elizabeth. Yeah, she's my
she
favorite.
loves you. She actually, I asked her in our interview, I was like, okay, where was your favorite location? Who was your favorite castmate? And then I went on to say, who was the charter guest that you jived the most with, your favorite charter guest? And she came out and said Charley Walters. She said that she feels like you guys are kind of the same in so many different aspects, but one in particular is that you guys bonded a little bit over the fact that editing, producers and Bravo, they have a job to do and the editors do too, but sometimes it doesn't always favor you. And I think she's feeling that a little bit.
She is. I noticed this is the first season that I've gone on to watch like the rest of the season. And I am feeling for her because it's kind of the same thing that happened to me that's happening to her. It's like, you know what you're signing up for when you get into this, but you become a character, right? Like Bravo makes you a character. So, I was like the, snobby, evil villain who had so many demanding requests that I made everybody cry. Rachel is like the F-bomb dropping. I mean, I can't even watch her sometimes because it's so much. Beep, 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 beep. Shane is kind of like, I guess like blonde who has a few too many blonde comments. And Elizabeth is kind of been painted as this like whiny person, which I think is so crazy because she doesn't seem like that to me at all. But it's like the stuff that you give them, they use it, and I'm sure everybody's whining when they're stuck on a ship like that for that long in those tight quarters. But they just happen to show hers a little more than others. So yeah, I've just been trying to like encourage her and let her know that her beauty, her immense beauty, can shine through in many other ways.
It's interesting because even when I was talking with her, and this, normally when we're fortunate enough to snag these interviews, especially when the Bravo celebrities or whoever it is from whatever network come on, usually they have PR with them on, and there's certain things that are made sure that they don't talk about. They can't kind of, I think we've spoken about this, you can't really break that fourth wall, right? Mm-hmm. And for Elizabeth, she didn't have to say it in the interview, but I could tell there was so much more that she wanted to say about her experience and about how she feels about certain things. And I kind of felt for her because nobody writes, or there's not like this written book or rules book of how to come on and be a reality TV star, whether it's in the moment for a season or for multiple seasons. Nobody tells you how to take on not only the love, but also the hate. And
yeah, no, they really don't. It's tough. In fact, a little bit, Bravo does tell you a little bit. They're like, this is going to happen, just ignore it. But it's pretty impossible to ignore, especially if you're active on social media in any respects and this stuff is coming through. So I think it's more about what you do with it and how you respond to it, and try to find a silver lining in some of those things. Like the fact that we did this little interview and we were able to change the minds of even a few people is super cool. And also owning up to what you did do. Like at the end of the day, there's some like editing tricks that happen, but stuff you see on camera is for the most part things that you did, whether you did additional things that they didn't see or not. And, just kind of acknowledging it and saying, oh, now that I look back on it, maybe I'm pretty lucky after all. And maybe there's nothing I really need to whine about. That was just something in the moment. And, you just need to put on a fresh perspective. And I think she's learning that. I've done this 3 times before, but this is her first time. So I'm glad to be able to coach her a little bit.
Well, and it's funny because you're one of the few people I've actually spoken with who doesn't take that easy road out of saying, look, dude, this wasn't me. This is all editing. Like I was completely blindsided. You keep just reassuring us. Yes, an element of it is editing for sure, but no one's forcing you to say these words. And these are your actions.
Yeah, I've noticed on this season more than ever that probably because the charter guests are being featured a little more than ever because of the whole stretched out COVID season or whatnot. that some of the other ones are coming forward on social media and they're like, oh, production asked us to do that sushi girl on the table or whatever. And it's like, okay, like I get it. And I feel for them too. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's again, it's just what you signed up for. So.
Yeah. And you also get to enjoy this, mega yacht. So in all fairness, it's
so
give and
lucky.
take.
We really are so lucky. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know that you've been in contact with Elizabeth and she's kind of been feeling her own way about just watching the show and kind of how she's portrayed. In your opinion, or maybe you don't even want to share this, but is there anybody else that you've spoken with from the cast that is kind of taking on the same like anxiety that comes with it?
Yeah, I've kept in pretty close touch with James actually. And it's so funny to me. He's telling me he's like barely even watching the show. He's over in UK, I guess, so it's probably harder to even get the show over there. Or maybe he can't even get it, but he's like, don't even tell me about it. I don't want to know. All I know is like, I felt so out of shape throughout the season and progressively so, like, working out and fitness is really important to him. And I think that's become one of my favorite silly plot lines for him. But again, it's all they focus on. And he knows that. And he's like, oh, just everybody's going to be talking about like my body and this. And I'm like, it's not that big of a deal, dude. It's okay. Yeah, he really says he hasn't been watching the show. So, which I could not do. I couldn't know that there was like a show out there that all these other people are watching. I don't know what they're saying.
I mean, it's like one of those things. It's like no, I couldn't either. If I were on a show, I would have to know what everyone's saying. And I would also want to know how I'm being portrayed. I actually just did an interview right before this. I'm sure you're familiar with the Real Housewives of Orange County, but one of the housewives, Bronwyn, is battling with addiction and substance abuse and just recently came out as being a lesbian. And, I've spoken with Bronwyn, but I was curious to get her mom's perspective, Dr. Deb, who we get to see on the show.
Yeah.
It was just interesting. She also refuses to watch the show because she says that she's an empath and she really feels it, when the hate comes, like it breaks her down, and it's taken a lot for her to learn how to navigate all of this. So I can see why people, kind of steer towards that direction.
Yeah. It's a big step putting yourself out there on national TV, especially. The show is doing really well in ratings. I think it's been like increasing throughout the season, and they rerun the show over and over and over again. It's crazy. Like every week I'm like, they're like, oh, I just saw your episode. I'm like, what? That was 3 weeks ago. But no, they put it on like 10 times per week.
Well, I know we've talked about this before. You being on the show and kind of, again, without saying too much, how production, they have these characters in mind, and they, like you said, Sunshine has a few too many blonde moments, and James might talk about his body. But one person who seems to stay consistent in general is Captain Lee.
Oh yeah, totally.
Why is that?
Yeah. I think he's done this so long. Actually, from the beginning, I went back and watched a few of the episodes from season 1, and he's really consistent. He is like what you get, and he's been vocal too about, I know when I mentioned, maybe production asked us to do a couple of different things, he was like, production has never asked me to do anything. He gives it, he knows what they want. He knows what makes a great show, but he's also just like a real, genuine guy. Like he's a super down to earth person who I think, they don't need to feed him anything. And they also, if you notice, like they don't interview him as much, like in the little sidebars that they do with the cast, they don't show him as much as other people. So it's like you're more seeing like the, like us, you're more seeing what's really happening as opposed to some like fed lines. He doesn't have that many of them.
Right.
So I think that's part of it. And I love that he's so super active on social media too. He's like really, he responds to like every single thing with his fans, and he's been really great about like standing up for me on things. And he's just I have nothing bad to say about him. He's a wonderful, wonderful person. I was honored when he said despite this whole season, he'd love to have me back on board anytime.
Oh, I love that. And I think it's really fun this season. We got to see a photo of him and his wife and hear a little bit more in depth about that story. He really does. He just seems like a genuine guy. And even though he's on a TV show, it's like, listen, first and foremost, I am the captain of this boat and all of these lives are in my hands. So that is my priority.
That is important to him. Yeah. I've gotten caught in the whole safety thing last time on the last season with the kill switch. Or if you watch what do they call it? The never before scene. They actually show me saying like, I'm wearing my kill switch. I learned from last time. And Kevin Lee's like, good job, but that didn't make the actual episode. But
what is a kill switch?
A kill switch is what they put on your wrists so that if you fall off the jet ski, which happens all the time to people, the jet ski motor kills, so it doesn't keep going. And last season in Tahiti, or 2 seasons ago in Tahiti, I was not there for like the little safety drill. I was not wearing this thing. And Carlos, who's a bit of a daredevil, like did this like crazy, Carlos, you here? He's here, he can testify. He like did this crazy turn and he flew up, I flew up in the air what felt like 20 feet. And
what are you telling me about?
I'm telling him about our jet ski adventure.
Hi, Carlos.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing well.
But
I was admiring your Christmas tree, by the way.
It was all
thank
him.
You.
It was all
thank
him.
You.
We're talking about the kill switch, and I didn't know what a kill switch was, but apparently you guys have.
Super important because what happened was like the jet ski kept going, and I basically had the wind knocked out of me. And our friend Billy was like backstroking in the middle of the ocean. Do you remember this?
Yes.
And I was like, oh my God, this thing came like 3 feet from his head. So it was actually a quite scary, dangerous moment that was our fault. And Captain Lee came out in the dinghy and brought us back in and scolded us. And I will never forget that. Like it was legit. I mean, we could have been in a really bad accident.
And because of that, he would never get on a jet ski with me ever again.
No, that's true. You'll notice I don't go on one with Carlos.
Oh my gosh. Well, and that just goes back to the same fact that you were just pointing out again. First and foremost, this is a job. He is a captain before he is a reality TV personality, and he cares.
Yeah, he is. He's the real deal. We invited him to dinner, actually. We told him next time he's in LA, he has to come over here, and he said he'd love to with his wife. So I'm excited to hopefully get to hang with him off camera.
Oh, that's all. Well, since we're talking about captains, I'm curious because I know when we did this last interview, we got a tweet from Captain Sandy, and it was talking about she doesn't sink ships. What was that in regards to? You said something about the boat might sink, and then she says, "Sorry, Charlie, I don't sink ships. I sail them."
I think I said something along the lines to Captain Lee of. When he said I'd love to have you back, I was like, are you sure you're not sick of me? Maybe it's time to like go sick me on Captain Sandy. And she jumped in immediately and was like, I said I don't know, with the two of us together the ship might sink, ha ha ha. And she was like, Charlie, I don't sink ships, so I'm up for the challenge if you want to come. That's how I interpret it, at least. But I think that would be super fun. I don't know, I haven't watched the med season that much, but one thing I like about her that I've seen just in media and stuff is that she encourages more diversity on the show, which I think that the show does need. So I would love to come and bring a very diverse group for her.
Yeah, and I'm sure, especially Los Angeles, and I mean I just left there, but I miss my whole group of friends, and everybody's from all walks of life, so that would be fun to see. And I think that, diversity, especially in general, but in today's climate, we need it. So with that,
we really do. Yeah. I think given all the things that happened this year, I mean, this show we're currently watching was taped before the whole Black Lives Matter movement, but I think that, I hope in the future that they will take diversity more into account when casting both crew members and charter guests. Yeah,
I agree with you. And really quick, because I know that your time is super precious. If you had to
let
guess,
me check my pandemic schedule. It's so busy.
hey, the other day you were dealing with solar panels, and you're a busy guy. You have Christmas trees going up, all kinds of stuff going on around there. So don't discredit it. If you had to guess, and I know you haven't ever been on a ship with Captain Sandy, but who do you think would be a tougher captain to be a charter guest for?
Ooh, I mean, I think in general, Captain Lee's a pretty easy one because you feel like really safe with him. You just feel like he really knows what he's doing. And that no matter what drama goes down with the crew, like he's going to kind of be the glue that holds it together. I really don't know enough about her to say either way. I mean, I've heard she's like a tough cookie, but is she the type of person that like throws charter guests off the boat though? like Captain Lee's about to apparently later this season. I don't know. I'd have to get to know her first. I have no sense of her character without meeting her in person. Plus, based on everything I've told you, I would never I'd be the last one to judge someone's character based on how they're portrayed on television without meeting them in person. So, yeah, we'll see. I don't know if I'm ready for another blocker on the tripper on the yacht, but if they really want to have me back and Bravo isn't totally sick of me, we'll try to make it happen.
No, I love that. And hopefully this is just a insert in the way, like, I hope that we get to revisit this conversation next year and you do get that moment where you get to go on with Captain Sandy. Again, if you guys ever need 2 extra guests, Jason and I are right here. So
seriously, I'm keeping this in mind. Like, that would be so much fun. I usually like kind of put out feelers to my friends to see who, there's very few people that actually, believe it or not, you'd think that everybody would be clamoring to do this, but a lot of them are like, wait, I have to be on camera like 9% of the time? Absolutely not. And then they see how I'm portrayed and they're like, no. So it actually is not as easy as you'd think to find people willing to do this. So I will let you know, although like you said, you're just too friendly. Actually, it would be the ultimate editing challenge to somehow get some like bitchy remark from you.
Oh my gosh. They would just have to give me a little bit of champagne, then mix a liquor with it, and I would turn into a dinosaur.
They're definitely good at that.
Well, before we end this off, I know that, again, you and Carlos are giving back right now, and this is the season of giving back, which is so absolutely amazing. And we thank you for that because, people are reaching out, and you honored what you said. You reach out to me and you're responding. I'm sure you can't respond to everybody, but you did say at the beginning of this, if people want to reach out to you, you're more than welcome to respond.
Shoot out the message. Like, we really feel like we want to, again, kind of pay it forward, given this whole experience and given what everybody's going through at this time. We feel comparatively that, we're in a pretty lucky spot right now. And we know that there's a lot of people out there that are struggling this holiday season more than ever. And we would love to. A gift is a great thing. I think like what Tiffany did, if there's something that you want to give somebody in your family or somebody that's special to you and you need a little boost or a little help with it, let us know.
Oh, and if anybody's living under a rock, can you at least let us know where we can find you?
Oh yeah. If they haven't been part of the bashing circus that has been on Twitter, mine is at Olympic Chaz, OLYMPICCHAZ on Twitter and Instagram, and yours is
Carlos_Spears. So
he's a big Britney fan.
Yeah,
all right. Oh, I was like Spears, SPEARS. Okay, big Britney fan. I love that. We're learning something new every day. Well, Carlos, I mean, both of you, Charley, Carlos, I appreciate you guys. Carlos, this was a pleasant surprise. We didn't get you last time, so we appreciate the cameo, and it's always a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Adam. We can't wait to talk to you again. Keep fighting the good fight and stay safe.
Yeah, and I'll keep trying to be positive. But again, like I said, give me some champagne, mix a little bit of liquor. I don't know what dinosaur is going to come out, so I'll just keep that away.
Next time I'm going to send you a bottle in advance. We'll see what happens.
All right. Well, we'll see you next time.
Martini, that's our favorite.
Yeah. All right, we'll see you next time. Have a great day, guys. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Guys, that's it. We just spoke with Charley and also a cameo by Carlos, which was amazing. So we didn't expect that. Again, if you guys want to help a family member or anyone else, Charley's the one who said it. I actually saw the receipts where he did send a gift, a few gifts actually, out there to different people. So he's a man of his word. And I think, again, it's just another awesome personality trait that we didn't necessarily get to see on camera. So that's it, guys. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell because you guys don't want to miss anything we have coming up. And I'm sure we have a lot more great interviews to come. See you guys next time. Bye, guys.
Thanks for watching Up and Adam.